Good evening. This is Marlene with Dixie Quilters, and welcome to my little channel. And today we're going to go back and look at some more of that Civil War sampler book from Barbara Bachman. And doggone it, today we're going to review the one called Pinwheel. And here it is in the book. Sort of a hodgepodge of colors, but I put it together and made this one, Pinwheel. And it was named that in 1929 with a lady that was referring back to that Civil War era. Because pins and needles were manufactured primarily in England. Yardage was manufactured in the manufacturing houses in the North and in Europe that didn't have anything like that going on in the South. It was primarily where you grew the cotton or you grew the flax, whatever it was that you were going to be making into fabric. So this is an excerpt from a journal from 1862. And the lady says, her husband had bought the contents of a shuttered store whose owner had died earlier in the war, and he opened it to the neighbors. And the women were thrilled because here was needles for their sewing machines, there were pins to be used, and there was some fabric. And it says here, we were overjoyed when we found about 60 yards of old-fashioned plaid barré. And such a plaid, the size of the squares and the odd mixture of colors were startling. But that made no difference. We hadn't had any fabric for years. And it meant a new dress, a clean dress. So this gal that's writing in her journal was referring to the wild chalet prints of the 1840s and 50s, which had been a good 10 years out of style. And the name of the block, Pinwheel, was penned by Ruth Findlay in 1929. And she recalls the days when her pin money was useless and there was no such thing as an out-of-fashion fabric. So that would be the Civil War days. Now this next one that we're doing is called the Comfort Block. And it refers to two different explanations were used for the Comfort Block. And here's my rendition. And some of this fabric right here is Hobby Lobby, and the rest of these are Marcus fabrics. And from, I think, who makes... Well, I bought them from Fat Quarter Shop, so maybe they're Riley Blake, but they're Marcus reproduction fabrics. And I just love them. They're just so pretty. Anyway, so let's see. The Comfort Quilt is the name of this block. And it was given that name in the Kansas City Star in 1940. And it has two meanings. It has either the meaning of the comfort of a quilt, you know, that when the Florence Nightingales were all busy trying to help the soldiers who had been injured and damaged, they used quilts, and they had to sterilize them, of course, but quilts meant home and comfort. So they had that expectation. And then another one, what was the two meanings? It's woven comfort or pattern, and bed coverings were often called comforts because of how they feel. And then these are the criteria for women who wanted to volunteer to serve as volunteer nurses in their hospitals. So they had to be over 30. And all nurses are required to be plain looking. So you can't be good looking and you can't be under 30. Whoa. And their dresses must be brown or black with no bows, curls, or jewelry, and no hoop skirts. So I think I could have met those criteria. What about you? Okay, now this third one that we're working on today is called the New England Block. And my goodness, here's a photo of Louisa May Alcott. I believe she wrote the one about Little Women. That must have been what she wrote, if I remember correctly. The New England block can remind us of Louisa May Alcott. In 1861, this restless 28-year-old was living with her family in Concord, Massachusetts. She wrote an old friend that she was sewing violently on patriotic blue shirts. And she felt that her needlework was an abomination. Well, some of my handwork looks like that. So here's a photo of poor old Louisa Alcott. Man, if they just let him smile a little, it'd be sure help a lot. So the fabrics on the two here, one is by Sue DeCam and another is by Sue Hampton. You know, that has a similarity to this other one, where it has the little star in the middle. This one just has more points. So I'm thinking about replicating this one here. So I've got a stripe to use for these stripes here. Those are stripes. And then I've got this green here to go all these green squares here. And then I've got this red for the red. And this blue, instead of dark brown or black, I'm going to use blue there. Isn't that pretty? Let me show you this one. It's another one of those Marcus fabrics that are in the reproduction kits as well. These were as well. Sort of an avocado look to it. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And for the yellow and the little sort of the beigey yellow backgroundies, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I might use, I don't want to do scrappy, but I'm thinking something like this maybe. Just, there's enough pieces here that I could probably, these are leftovers from Kansas Troubles Daisy something, that one I made that earlier quilt about. I made a quilt about in these colors earlier. When was that? Well, it was, see, with all these we'll do those. So it'll be piecework on those little parts that go around the outside. Let's see what else I've got in here. Oh yeah, there's some more. Some more beiges, and this will work good too. It'd be nice if I could remember the name of what I was trying to say, but oh well. Now here's a bunch. I've already got them cut. They're in the shape of a 2 7/8. I wonder if we need 2 7/8. And of course not. We need 2 5/8 and we need 2 1/4. Oh well, we've got plenty of those. Wonder if these are 2 1/4. No, those are 2 1/2. I could use those. So I'll put those together and we'll get ready to sew those up. I'll come back to you in just a minute once I have it all set up. Okay, thanks. Hold on. Hi again. Well, you can see it. There's our block. All the little, I did the fussy cut on the stripes and the fussy cut in the middle. You know how hard it is to get that right in the middle of a 1 1/2 inch block? Anyway, so there's our block, and this is about Louisa May Alcott. And they're trying to sew flat, they're trying to sew shirts for the Army guys. And this is a New England block. It's a variation of a star that was given several names over the last 100 years. And this one, assigned by a 1930s pattern company, is called Needlecraft Supply. And it's called New England Block. This is from the book, Civil War Sampler by Barbara Brockman. And you can see my block. And I did a little bit of a scrappy bit to the edges. There's three different fabrics that are these low volumes. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sew this up. Here we go. Okay, I think we'll put together these little half square triangle guys first. Some of these fabrics are, again, the Marcus fabrics from the reproduction club, I think it's what you called with Fat Quarter Shop, where you get a selection of reproduction fabrics every month. I did that for a few months, but I think not more than 3 months, which gave me plenty of choices to do this quilt. Honestly, I had some reproduction fabrics already from Keepsake Quilting. I hope to be an affiliate for Keepsake someday. Someday. Let me put the camera so you can see all of this. Sorry, I'll fix that on the downside. Here we go, we're just sewing these little corners together. Tonight my husband and I drove over to see the new chickens my daughter got. She's so excited about chickens. Well, they are pretty. They're red and sort of skittish, but she'll get those loved into shape any minute now. She's got a tiny little chicken coop, but she's putting I think it's like a metal mesh over the top of it. So we get a lot of predator birds here. And, well, there's a lot of predators around here. Let's see, where's that other half of this one? Here it is. Now let's see, I think we'll put this one to this one. And this one to this one. As long as we're doing them in rows, I think we'll be okay. And this one to this one. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going side to side. Wait a minute, what did I do there? This is here. Oh no, here it is, right like that. Yep, gotta watch yourself. If you're anything like me, you gotta watch what you're doing. Now let's see. I think that's all we can do without resetting. There we go. if I can get by with just using my finger press. You know, I've seen lots of people just do finger presses and then they avoid having to fiddle around with the iron. We'll see if that works. I did it on the first 2 blocks that I showed you tonight. I waited until they were all put together and then put the best press on them and gave them a nice crisp quilt press. So how was your day today? I saw patients and I saw nice people. They needed a little help and I'm glad I could be there to help them. Oh, and then we went and saw the grandkids running around and then the chickens in the new little coop. Actually, it's an old coop that came with the house that my daughter bought, and it's she's been renovating it for about a week now. I don't know why she's nuts for chickens. I sure never had chickens around when the kids were little. But I grew up with chickens, so no biggie. Okay, now let's see if I can reassemble these guys. Might be there. Now let's see. Let's trim those guys, those little tails off. When you trim these, be sure you don't trim them too tight because you don't want the threads to undo. So I don't ever go over the line of stitching. I think I'm getting a generous 1/4 there. I better watch out what I'm doing. Those are good scraps. I don't think I'm going to save these though. All right, so now I can put this row together and then this row together, and you know, as we go right along. Well, okay. There's that row. How about this one? I hope I did this right. Doesn't look like it did though. Oh. Boy, I have trouble putting these together, you know. There it goes. My goodness, I was lucky that went together. No, here we go. Gotta watch me. I'm bound to put something on upside down a number of times. Well, it's coming together. This is just not right. See, it's supposed to be fussy cut so that the stripe goes right down the middle. And it's doing it on these other ones, but not this one. So I'm going to take it apart. Take a scant 1/4 on this side. So I'm going to just take it, I'm going to leave about a 1/16 of an inch there. And then should be the correct dimensions when we're done. Ah. There we go. See, that's a little better. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, so now we put it together. Oh, I think I will take a moment and press these quick before I put it together. Okay, let's lay this out. This will be one of the more intricate ones. I think there's more pieces to this one than most of them. And I've pressed it so that they are going alternate ways so that when they'll lay down nice for the sewing. I don't know if I'll even need a pin. Pretty good. I think I'll pin this one. Okay, now that's perfect. Yeah, we'll do that again. Yeah, it sure makes a difference if they come together. And I know it takes more time, but I don't mind pinning when you get a result like this. Yep, perfect. Okay, there we are. Oh, can you see it? There we are. I like it. I like it better than the two options we had. Let's see what you think. Where were we here? The New England block. I sort of like it. Well, that's the best part about this whole thing, is that making these Civil War blocks and you have a variety of fabrics, you don't have to do what they tell you. You can do whatever you want to do. I sort of like that idea quite a bit. Okay, so this movie is about the 3 Civil War blocks I've done now for August, called Richmond. And that one was about the no, wait a minute. We did Richmond last time. We did Pinwheel. That was about the pins and the needles that were broken and no fabric, so they found some. And then the Comfort Quilt, because they called blankets were called comforts. So I guess that's how you became a comforter, huh? And then the third one is the New England block, which is this one right here. Okay, so that's 3 blocks for August. And I'm determined to have this one ready for the county fair next April. So I think when you have to register for that. So we're going to get this one ready for next year for sure. All right, hope you're doing some with me. Let me know which ones you're working on. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye now.